Good afternoon, everybody. So I will start off with our safety disclaimer. These classes and what I say are not medical advice. Please consult with healthcare professionals before making changes to manage your health. This presentation does not represent Parkinson Canada's endorsement of products or treatment related to Parkinson's disease. This presentation is meant to provide general information. If you have specific questions about managing Parkinson's disease for yourself or for others, please contact info@parkinson.ca, or you can always call our 1-800 number, and that number is 1-800-565-3000. Hi everybody, it's your at-home workout class. It's number 46. It's brought to you by Parkinson Canada. My name is Lance Letain. I am your events coordinator here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. For those of you that are international, it's a beautiful sunny afternoon here. If you're new to this class, welcome. If you're a veteran of these classes, I want to thank you for your patronage. These classes are held live every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday afternoon at 1:30 Central, and that would be at 2:30 Eastern, and of course that would be at 12:30 in Saskatchewan and or Alberta, and of course an hour earlier than that in beautiful British Columbia. You can find these live classes on the Parkinson Canada Superwalk group page. Again, the classes every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, and they are a part of the movement, the Superwalk movement. It's your monthly challenge, set up to help you achieve your 150 minutes of exercise per week. If you need to find out some more information about the movement, you can simply go to www.superwalk.ca. While you're there, why not register for this year's Superwalk? And of course, these classes are recorded and are posted on the Parkinson Canada Manitoba Facebook group page. Hello, Jim and Wanda. Great to have you here. And you can also find these classes posted on the Parkinson Canada YouTube channel. So we pretty much put these up right after the classes are done. So talk to you a little bit about the benefits. I read an article. So Anne-Marie out of the Parkinson Canada office in Toronto shared with me a small paper written on Parkinson News Today. It was a small study in Italy, and it was studying the effects or the effects of not exercising during this pandemic. It was a smaller sort of study, so we can't say that there's a direct cause relationship, but it's more of kind of an interest than anything. And so for those who were newly diagnosed or have been newly diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, they were most likely to engage and to keep on exercising. For those, a lot of other people, there has been a big decrease in the amount of people exercising, and that kind of stands to reason. I think a lot of people have we haven't been able to go to the gym. We haven't been able to connect. Other people haven't held us accountable. Like, we're counting on meeting us at this exercise support group. Well, now that you're not accountable, the people let exercise slip on by. So there was a marked notice in people's symptoms getting progressively worse because they stopped exercising. But the good news is they did show a real good rebound when they started exercising again. So if you're participating in these classes, good for you. You're in the minority. You're the true leaders, and you are doing everything that you can to manage your symptoms. It also stood to reason. Another thing that I noticed, there's a bit of a technology gap there. So not everybody has access to Facebook. If you don't like Facebook, you don't have to use Facebook, and I don't blame you. So it could be hard to follow along with classes like this. Other people just aren't comfortable or want to use technology to engage with exercise, and I get that too. But so yeah, I think there's a few things that maybe skewed the results there, but nonetheless, the good thing was that it showed that people rebounded really fast when they did start exercising. So we have a number of shout outs. I heard from a lot of people in the last 24 hours here. Here we go. We have Susan, Sonia, Anne-Marie, Kelly, Carolyn, Rick, Lenore, Cindy, Karen, of course, Carrie Lynn, Amanda, Alan, John, Courtney, Chelsea, Michelle, Todd, Alejandro. Alejandro, if you're registering for the Superwalk and you want some questions answered, Alejandro is your man. You can contact him at 1-800-565-3000. He is fantastic. I'd like to give a shout out to Donna, Blair, Betty and Rick, Joan and Ken, Jean and Dawn, Gay and Jerry, Karen and Robin, Dana and Remy, Irene, Holly, Arthur, Pat, Wendy, Karen Lynn, Marilyn, Robert, Paul, Gary, Don, Doug, Parkinson, Canada, Au Quebec, Beat, and the Neuro Challenge Foundation all the way down in Florida. They have put us in touch with a number of people in Florida that are now participating in these classes. So that's it for our shoutouts. It's a beautiful day here. How about we start exercising? So for today's classes, you will need either some cans, something weight resistance. If you have hand weights, you can use that. If you have TheraBands or surgical tubing, you can use that too. I'm going to demonstrate using these and the hand weights, and of course just gravity itself. All right, so let's get ready to exercise here, gang. I'm looking forward to today's class. Whew, nice to have a little bit of shade here. Glad about that. So we start off our classes the same way every time. We're going to start off with a nice warm-up that'll last about 3 to 5 minutes long. The first thing we always do is that we think about our posture. We're sitting up nice and straight. Let's pull our shoulders back. Put some smiles on our faces, closing our eyes. I'm going to ask you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. One more time, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Opening our eyes, we're going to do 3 more breaths, raising our hands above our head. Big breath in and out. Big breath in and out. Last one, this will be our biggest breath of the day. Big breath in, holding it when you reach the top. Hold it, and out. All right. Okay. Hope you're feeling better. I know I already am. Okay, so we're going to start off with our clap, so our slap, clap, snap. So we are clapping our thighs 5 times, clapping our hands 5 times, snapping our fingers 5 times. 5 down to 1, and then all the way back up to number 5. Here we go. We're going to go a little bit slower like yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, all right, gang. Glad you were able to follow along. Okay, so I thought we'd start off with something a little bit different now in our warm-up. We're just going to do shimmy. So I'm just going to ask you to lean forward and back. So the purpose of our warm-up is to prepare our body, to prepare our mind for the work ahead. It's amazing. You start moving around a little bit. The body starts taking the cues. Your brain starts taking the cues. All right. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Shake it out. Okay, now let's shake out our hands. Shake it out. Now let's wiggle our fingers. all those little muscles. Keep our fingers moving. And now we're going to make a fist. Let's make a fist. Relax, wiggle our fingers. Make a fist. Relax, wiggle our fingers. One more time, make a fist, hold it there. Wiggle your fingers. Okay, now we're just going to do a nice slow walk, slow march. So a lot of the exercises that we're doing can either be done from a seated or a standing position. Whatever is best for you totally works for me. You will find though that if you're doing these exercises from a seated position, some of this can be harder than if you're standing. Slow march. Alright, shall we get some arms going? Just a nice slow march. This is our warm-up. Getting ready for our cardio section. So our cardio section typically takes about 15 to 20 minutes in duration. And during that time, this march or slow walk will be your go-to move. If you get lost in any of the choreography or any of my directions, you can simply march. Big thing is to keep on moving. That's what we want. How about we try and bring our knees up high? Here we go. Up and up. Up and up. Up and up. Up and up. All right. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow march. This is our warm-up here. Okay, from here we're going to transition into, let's just roll our hands forward nice and slow. One hand over the other, nice and slow. So the reason why I'm introducing new movements is that it's something new for us to learn, and that's what we want. We're creating those new branches of learning, having that growth and development. When we consistently work at things, we're going to get more growth and development. The theory is that you're going to have more dopamine available, and your body's going to be using your dopamine more efficiently. Now let's go backwards now. All right. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stopping it there. Okay, that's it for our warm-up. If you need to grab a sip of water, now would be a great time to grab a sip of water. Just come right on back and just get your work area all set up nice and safe. I'm just going to move my chair back a little bit more. So I'm going to try and do everything from either seated position or a standing position. You do whatever's best for you. If you have to sit down the whole time, you do everything sitting down. If you feel more comfortable standing up, you can stand up the whole time. Alright, so we're going to start off with, we're going to do some heel tapping. We're going to put our heel out and back. Other foot out and back. Out and back. Out and back. We're starting off slow, but we are going to work up to a more intense pace, a quicker pace. So you'll notice your heart rate's going to be getting faster. Your breathing rate's going to get faster and deeper. If you ever feel dizzy along the way, by all means, this is not a competition. You just take it easy. But I would suggest that you just don't stop automatically. You slow things down, giving you, your heart, and your lungs a chance to adapt. Slow down before stopping fully. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so now we're going to do some heel taps with the cha-cha-cha. Again, it's going to be on the slow side, but we will pick it up. So it's going to look, going to be heel tap, cha-cha-cha, heel tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. Okay, so we got this pattern down. How about we try and pick it up just a little bit. So it's going to be like this. Tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, 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 cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, 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 cha-cha-cha. All right. How does that feel? Good. Shall we try just a little bit faster? Just a little bit. Here we go. Tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. Tap, cha-cha-cha. Slowing it down. Tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. All right. Tap, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. Tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, tap. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, halfway there, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap and tap. All right. Tap and tap. Okay, gang. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Let's add some bicep curls and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. All right. So we got this down. How about now? We're going to change things up a little bit by going a little bit faster. Here we go. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Okay, there we go. And tap. Tap and tap. That's a good pace. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No arms, just our legs. Okay. How are you feeling? Good. I hope. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Tap and tap. Okay. So we are going to transition into a march in 4, 3, 2, and 1. March it out. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. For those of you that need to make it a little bit more intense for yourself, because you might find this a little bit too easy, one way you can do it is by raising your knees. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. Everybody else, you can just keep on. If this feels better for you to have your legs like this, you continue with that. Other people, if you need, bring your knees up high. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. March, 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 and march. March, 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 and march. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so here we're going to transition into some wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Here we go. Wide, 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 narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, 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 narrow, 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 wide, 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 narrow, narrow. Okay. Again, this is one of those exercises that is more challenging from a seated position. You have less muscles that are helping you out with doing the marching. So those fewer muscles are going to get tired a lot more. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Narrow, narrow. Shall we keep it wide? Keep it wide. March, march, march and march. March, 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 march. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it narrow. Okay. March, 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 and march. Let's think of our posture. Let's sit up nice and straight if you're sitting. Standing, let's stand up nice and straight. Let's get your shoulders back. Some great big smiles on our faces. All those endorphins running through our body. Battling any sort of depression that we have. Any feelings of anxiety. Exercise is by far one of the best things that you can be doing for anybody. But really, if you have Parkinson's disease, we want to keep our musculoskeletal system, our muscles and our bones, our brain active. And by changing up routines, not only does it keep the routine fresh, but it's also keeping you thinking. Patterns, having to think about things. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No arms. Okay, so from here we're going to transition into some side stepping. I'm going to start off from a seated position, but I will end up doing it from a standing position. So when I'm asking you to step to the side, just make sure that it's safe around you. Here we go. Side and back, side and back, side and back, side and back. Okay, side and back, side and back, side and back, side and back. Got this down? And back, and back, side and back. I'm going to stand up. Side and back, and back, side and back, and back. Alright, so how about we add some arms into this? We're going to do our modified jumping jack. So our arms are going to be coming to the side as our legs go out to the side. Both arms will go up at the same time. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side. Let's see if you can get your hands up to shoulder height. If you feel pain when you're doing this, by all means, you don't have to do this. Pain is not good. Soreness is different. So if I had, say, pain in one arm, I could just modify it by just doing one arm. but I don't have pain in my shoulders. So I can do both. At least now I could. Last year at this time, I couldn't. There was no way I could do this. Side to side, side to side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No arms. Oh yeah, that's easier. Side to side, side to side, side to side, side to... Okay, we're going to go a little bit faster now. We're still not going to use our arms, we're just going to use our legs. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Side to side, side to side. Okay, that's faster. To side, side to side, side to side, side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, I slow it down. Side to side, side. So we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to add some heel taps and side toe taps. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Heel front and back, side and back, front and back, side and back, front and side, front and side, front and side, front and side. So let's pick up the pace a little bit. Front, back, side and back, front, back, side and back, front, back, side and back, front, back, side, and faster. Front, back, side and back, front, back, side and back, front, side, front, and side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. March and march, march and march. Okay, we have 3 minutes left here, gang. 3 minutes and we'll be at that 20-minute mark. Feeling good. Over the hump. We're doing all the hard stuff here. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. Let's go for a little bit of a run. Here we go. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. Okay, and for those of you again that need a little harder workout, you could bring your knees up higher. If that's too hard, you can just keep your knees low. Again, this can all be done from a seated position. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. No hands, just our legs. March, 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 and march. March, 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 march. We're going to transition back into our heel taps. We're going to do a cha-cha. Here we go. Heel tap, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha, 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 tap, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, tap, cha-cha-cha. All right. Approaching the end. A big crescendo. Cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, tap, tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, halfway there, 4, 3, 2, all right, let's just tap. March it out, slowing things down. Let's bring things down to a slower walk. One of my two cats just hanging out with us here. This is my cat Kona. Hi Kona. She loves warm summer days like this. Alright, let's think of our posture. Let's sit up nice and straight. No arms, just our legs. We're going to slow things down even more. Alright, gradually bringing your heart rate down. Bringing our breathing rate down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to do some disco arm up and down, up and down. It's almost like picking our apples, except instead of going across our body, we're going to the side of our body. If it hurts you too much to raise your hands up high, you can simply raise your hands out in front of you. That works for me too. Again, the purpose of our cardio cool down is to slow down our heart rate, get all that oxygenated blood that we breathed in. Our large muscles like our quadriceps, our glutes have been consuming. They've been doing all the hard work. Now let's go out in front of us. Now we're starting to get blood to different parts of our body. Most importantly, our brain. And out. Out. And out. Should we try and wiggle our fingers when we go out? And out. Out. And wiggle your fingers. Out. And out. Out. And out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one. Okay, now we're just going to make some fists. We're going to grip strength and relax. Grip strength. And relax. And relax. Again, slowly bringing your heart rate down. Grip strength. Relax. Grip strength. And relax. Okay, now we'll just do some stationary heel tapping. Tapping the heel of one foot. Tap, 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 and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Changing feet. Tap and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Okay. We just finished our cardio warm-up. Our cardio, that was 15 to 20 minutes of continuous movement there, and our cardio cool down. Alright, so if you need to grab a sip of water, now would be a great time to grab a sip of water. Just come right on back. If you have some hand weights, or if you have some cans of soup or cans of beans, by all means, you can use that. If you have your TheraBands or surgical tubing, you can use that too. If you don't have anything, no sweat, we will use gravity. The way we do our strength training is nice and slow and very purposeful, so that even if we have no weights or any resistance, it's still going to be an exercise. It's still going to be a workout for you. So I'm going to try and demonstrate everything with both using my cans of chickpeas or surgical tubing. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to do a chest press. So I'm going to demonstrate using the TheraBand here, but I'm going to do them using cans of chickpeas. So if you have a TheraBand or surgical tubing, you are simply going to put the band behind your back and coming up under your armpits like this. You're going to grab the bands like this. You can wrap them around your wrist, that works too. The big thing is though, we have to think of our posture, so we're sitting up nice and straight. You see how my arms are at a 90-degree angle? That's where we want to start off. So I got the TheraBands around my wrist. I'm pushing forward and then back, very slow and very purposeful. Again, my arms are at a 90-degree angle. From the side profile, it's going to look like this. And back, very slow, very purposeful. It's very important that we have good technique when we're doing any sort of strength training. So I demonstrated using the TheraBand. I'm going to do them using my cans of chickpeas here. If you don't have anything, that's fine. You don't need to have anything. Again, I'm going to start off with my arms at a 90-degree angle like this. I'm going to push out and back, very slow, very purposeful. Ready? We're going to do 6. Here we go. Out and back. That's 1, 2, and 3, 4. And here's 5. And 6. Whew. Man, felt that one. That was tough. Okay, next thing that we're going to do, we are going to do some tricep extensions. So for our tricep extensions, I'm going to demonstrate using the cans. If you don't have any sort of hand weights, you don't have to. So I'll demonstrate using the cans, but I'm going to do it using these TheraBands. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do one can at a time. I'm going to raise my hand like this. I'm simply dropping my arm down all the way up. So it's going to be working the back side. It's going to be using this muscle right here. These are our tricep muscles. So these are our extenders. So anything that we do with extending, these are the muscles that we're using for that. So again, it's just like going down and extending all the way up. So if you have hand weights or cans of soup or cans of beans, that's what it's going to look like. Or if you don't have anything, for those of you that have surgical tubing or TheraBands, it's going to be a little bit different. We'll be exercising the same way. So what I do, I drape my TheraBand between my thumb and my pointer finger, and then cross my arm like this, and then I'm going to grab onto the surgical tubing, and I'm extending down. It's going to be like this. So again, it's going to be working the tricep muscle. So again, I'm putting the TheraBand over my thumb, crossing it across my body. I'm going to reach up, I'm going to grab the TheraBand, and I'm going to pull down. So if you have your hand weights, we're going to do 6. If you don't have anything, we're doing 6. If you have your TheraBands, let's get ready to roll here. Here we go. Down, and up, 2, here's 3. Again, very slow. Very purposeful. Much better than going fast. And one more. Okay, what we do to one arm, we're going to do to the other. I'm going to do this next set of 6. I'm going to use hanging on to weight. If you want to continue using TheraBands, you can use that. Everybody else, let's get ready. So we're going to go down and up. That's 1. Here's 2. 3, very slow, very purposeful. And 4, 5, and 6. Whew. Man, oh man, I felt that one. This is my bad arm. So this was the arm that I had some nerve damage on last year at this time. I would have been able to do that at all last year at this point. Okay, we're going to try 6 more on each arm. I'm going to do the first set with hanging out of the can. I'm going to do the last 6 with the TheraBand. Let's get ready to go. Going down and up, down and up. 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Oh yeah, that feels good. Okay, one more set here. As I said, I'm going to drape it over my thumb like this, crossing my arm. I grab onto the TheraBand. Here we go. 1, 2, there's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh man, that was tough. All right, so we got that done. Now I'm just going to move this stuff out of the way. I don't want to have a tripping hazard nearby here. Scooch on up, put my weights away. Last thing that we're going to do on our strength training, we're going to do our Kegel exercises. Again, we worked on this yesterday. So this is a muscle that's deep within our abdominal core here, and we often engage with it when we're going to the bathroom. So just think, if you can, sometimes it helps to close your eyes. You're going pee and you want to stop your flow of pee. So it's an abdominal, deep in your abdominal cavity there. You're going to kind of lift up, you're going to engage. Let's think of our posture. Engage with that muscle. As we get older, it gets tougher. It's one of those natural things as we get older. But we do respond well with training, regular exercise, and relax. For those of you that have been sitting for a really long time, say you've been, maybe you're in a wheelchair, or you have an office job where you're sitting down 8, 9, 10 hours a day, our abdominal muscles become weak. And but this is something that you can do while you are sitting down. Again, for some of you, it might help to close your eyes. We'll engage with that muscle. Yeah. Contracting that muscle, holding it there, continuing to breathe. Yeah, hold it, hold it, hold it. And relax. Feels good to let it relax. Now we're going to engage. Again, this might not be sexy, but it's reality. It's where we're at in our lives. Let's engage. Let's hold it there. That feels good. And relax. Try that again 2 more times. Engage. Let's hold that muscle. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Yeah, that feels good. And relax. Last time. Engage. Hold it there. There we go. And relax. Woo! Alright, just finished our strength training. So from there we can transition into our balance. Again, I'm just going to move some things out of the way. I don't want anything to fall. So we are going to, first thing, we are going to be using our chair, standing up. And we are going to be doing our one-legged stand. So you can either have your knee up in front or behind, just doing a hamstring curl, or just letting your foot dangle like that. I'm having a chair that I'm hanging on to for some stability, just in case I need it. I would encourage you to do the same, or at least have a wall that you can put your hand on. Or we're going to stand on one leg for now, holding it there. We are going to make it a little bit more challenging as we go on. And down. What we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. foot up off the ground. As you can see, I'm hanging onto a chair here. And down. Now we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. Everybody's going to bring their knee up. We're going to open up nice and wide. And down. Up. Nice and wide. And down. Up. Wide. And down. Up. Wide. And down. One more time, each leg. Wide. And down. Oh, Kiki's here now. Hello, Kiki. Up. Wide. And down. Okay. How about now we're going to shift our weight from one side. As you can see, I'm keeping my toe on the ground there. I'm going to have one hand on my chair here just to provide me a little bit extra stability. Shifting my weight to the side. And again, this is something that you can do throughout your day. Maybe you're brushing your hair in front of a mirror. You can practice leaning over to one side, or brushing your teeth, maybe washing dishes. What we do to one side, we're going to do to the next. One side, toe on the ground. You can see I'm leaning over to my left, which would be your right. Leaning one way. Okay, this time I'm going to make it a little bit more challenging. I'm leaning to the side, and I'm going to close one eye. I'm going to keep one eye open. It's amazing how just closing one eye does throw off your balance. The good thing is, though, I'm keeping my hand on the chair here for some stability. Going the other way, closing the other eye. Again, if we work at stuff consistently, we're working on our balance, it will help us prevent some falls in the future. Our brain is processing all this information, remembering it. So if you're ever off balance, you're able to make those micro adjustments. Just keep standing upright. This time I'm going to actually bring my foot up off the ground. Again, still hanging onto the chair. Foot up off the ground. If you need the extra challenge, you can take your hand off. But having that chair there just provides you that sense of security. And the other side. I'm going to bring my foot up off the ground. Balancing there. You might not be able to see it, but my knee is making all these micro adjustments. My brain is talking to my knee. My knee is sending all the signals back. My eyes are working to help me keep balanced. My inner ear. Okay. So now we're going to do our rocking. I'm going to keep my feet wider than my shoulders, and I'm going to stagger my feet. So I'm putting one foot in front, other foot back. I'm going to lean forward. Maybe it'll be better if I show you a profile. So I'm leaning forward. And back. Have a chair there if you need to. Forward. And back. Let's put our feet side by side. Now we're going to alternate our feet. The other foot's going forward, the other foot's back. Feet are still wide. Leaning forward. And back. Forward. And back. All right. Now we're going to sit down to finish this off. We are going to lean forward. So again, this movement is involved with when you're maybe transitioning from a chair to a toilet, or you're going to be just trying to lean forward to reach and grab something. There's still some balance that's involved with that. So what I'm going to ask you to do is keep your feet nice and wide. Let's think of your posture. Let's keep our core nice and strong. That's really important. And we're just leaning forward. We're not leaning down, we're just leaning forward. I'm putting the weight of my upper body on the balls of my feet. My head is held high. And back. Should we try that again? Leaning forward, putting the weight of my upper body on the balls of my feet. Hands out in front. Thinking my posture. Try to keep my core nice and tight. And back. We're going to do one more gang. Leaning forward. Weight of my upper body on the balls of my feet. And back. Alright, that's it for our balance training. So now we are going to work on our flexibility, and it's been a while since we've done this one, but we are going to work on our hamstrings first. So what I'm going to ask you to do if you're sitting down is just stick one leg out in front. Think of your posture, sitting up nice and straight. We are leaning forward. We're not leaning down, we're leaning forward. Again, it might help if I give you a profile shot. So foot out in front, I'm leaning forward, head held high. You should feel the stretch along the back side of the top part of your leg. It's your hamstring region. Hamstrings are big muscles. Feels really good to stretch them. If you've ever had sciatica or piriformis syndrome, you know how important it is to stretch these muscles. And back. Let's change our leg. The other foot goes out in front, sitting up nice and straight. Let's breathe out. Head held high. Let's hold that stretch. Ideally, we want each stretch to last about 30 seconds in duration. It does take a while for your brain to speak to your muscles and say, hey, you know what, it's okay to do that. You can go a little bit further. Your body responds very well. And you'll notice you'll notice big improvements over a short period of time if you work in your flexibility. And back. We're going to do one more time each leg. So when we are stretching, it will also help with pain management. Parkinson's, your muscles get really tight, lose their elasticity, it can be painful to move. Through regular stretching, and again, trying to hold each stretch for about 30 seconds, you should notice that your muscles are going to ache less and be less pain for you. Back, last time, other leg. Goes out in front, give our posture, leaning forward, head held high. Oh, that feels good. Okay, from here we are going to stretch out our inner thigh. So that's like our groin area. So what I'm going to ask you to do, sitting down, is you're going to stick one leg out to the side. You're going to place your hands on your knee like this, and you're just leaning. You should feel a stretch right along your inner thigh region. That feels really good. One way to do it. Sticking your leg out, head held high. Again, keeping your abdominal core nice and tight. Do to one side, we're going to do to the other. So the other leg goes out. Both hands are going on my knee. I'm just leaning forward. You should feel the stretch right along the inside thigh. Okay, from here, we're going to stretch out our chest. We're sticking our arms out nice and wide, shoulder height if you can. So you should feel the stretch right along here, your pectoral region. Arms back. We're going to bring one arm across, swooping up underneath. You're going to grab your elbow, and you're going to bring your elbow in tight to your body. So we're stretching out our triceps. We worked out on our triceps today with some of our strength training. So it's really important that we stretch out our triceps. And again, stretching is one of the better things that we could do to manage pain for your tight, taut muscles. Got a nice big chest stretch again, nice and wide. Holding it there. Other arm comes across your body. Other hand grabs your elbow, brings it tight to your body. Stretching out your triceps. Nice and wide. Chest stretch again. From here, we're going to crisscross our arms. We're going to give ourselves a bear hug. See how far back you can get your fingers? Feels good. Nice and wide. Last time. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Thinking of our posture, nice tight core. Crisscrossing our arms the other way. Seeing how far back you can get your fingers. Oh, that feels good. Okay, now it's time for us to work on our Parkinson specific exercises here. I'm just going to get a little closer to the camera. And the first thing that we're going to do is that we are going to work on our tongue exercises. So I'm going to ask you to stick out your tongue as far as you can, and you're going to point it up. Then we're going to slide it back in. We're going to stick it out, and we're going to go down, and then one way and the other. Again, not a sexy exercise, but it's reality. We have all these little muscles that are helping our tongue move. And of course, it's really important to have our tongue for any sort of speech that we're doing. People often overlook those little tiny little muscles, but they are very important. Okay, so here we go. We're sticking out and up. And in. Out and down. And then we're going to go that way. And now we're going to go that way. Let's work on our vowels now. A, E, I, O, U. If you can do this in front of a mirror, I would suggest doing it in front of a mirror. A, E, I, O, U. One more time. A, E, I, O, U. Okay. Let's work on our smiles. That Parkinson mask, we're going to get that mask away. Let's work on our smiles as large as you can. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And relax. Putting your palm of your hand against your cheek. You're pulling to the side and up. Hold it there. And again, ideally for 30 seconds would be perfect. And other side. Pulling back, holding it there, and relax. We're going to finish things off with some finger exercises. Index, middle, ring, pinky. Index, middle, ring, and pinky. Last one, index, middle, ring, and pinky. There we go. Oh, that's it, Kang. You did yesterday's class. You did today's class. You've done 100 minutes of exercise already this week. So again, a minimum 150 minutes, and we're looking at that intensity level of moderate to vigorous, hopefully closer to the vigorous end of the scale. If you can get more than 150 minutes, awesome. The more, the better. So that's it for today's class. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to either leave a message on the Facebook group pages, or you can always send me a private message. I'm pretty good for getting back to people. Yes, just one last thing. We are still having the Parkinson Canada Super Walk. It is being held on Saturday, September the 12th this year nationwide. It's going to be a virtual walk though, so we're encouraging you to be walking with family and friends in your neighborhood. We're still collecting pledges. We're wanting to be able to continue on with all this important programming for yourself or for your caregivers. And of course, we are also funding a lot of research, hopefully to find a cure to Parkinson's disease one of these days. So until then, I will see you at the next live class, which will be on Friday. Alright, gang, take care. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.